Perdu trop loin pour me retrouver, je m'abandonne à cette vie nouvelle sans espérer. Revoir mes parents ou faire de l'argent. J'assume mes décisions et mes désirs refoulés. Dommage que je ne sois pas une célébrité. J'ai trouvé d'autres options pour un sourire renouvelé. Un hiver sans été. Des regrets éparpillés dans l'air me donnent un air replié. J'ai grandi, je suis devenu un homme, j'ai évolué. Parfois, le reflet du miroir est confrontant, mais je sais qu'il me faut marcher droit devant.
So the arts have always been used as medicine in every culture. We want to reestablish our connection with self and others, so we want to become more ourselves, and we want to help with the relational health with other people, and we also want to help build community through that process. My name's Terry Roberton. I'm an artist, and I'm also an expressive arts therapist trained here in Toronto at the Create Institute. I've worked with Margaret's for 9 years. It started as a practicum experience and turned into a job. I'm also president of the Ontario Expressive Art Therapy Association, so I supervise students here at this practicum location.
My name is Bill Bissett, or Bissett. I'm a painter and a writer, and I've been a publisher of Blue Ointment Books, and I was very involved with people who had different ways of looking at things. Sometimes they're called people with mental health issues. I see it as a different way of looking at things in the moment. My first boyfriend lived with schizophrenia, and then the woman I lived with, she lived with schizophrenia. And I used to be called that by my boyhood friends who would throw rocks at me. They would call me Skitsy. I'm also the treasurer for the Secret Handshake and one of the facilitators there. We have a co-op art gallery, and we do wonderful poetry readings the last Sunday of every month. And we construct many friendships and excellent opportunities for enjoying life there.
My name is Frederick Stadler, and I enjoy painting. These are some of my works here at the Secret Handshake Art Gallery. And in 2004, I was committed to the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. And I started doing a little bit of art there, and I found I enjoyed it, and people gave me positive feedback, so I continued with my art.
My name is Gaetan Jeunesse. I was born in Quebec. At the age of 22, I had a depression, and I decided to be an artist. And I think that is helpful for recovery because there's a lot of marginalized people and mental ill people, and I wanted to be their voice.
Well, my name is Jose Echezuria. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela. Moved to Toronto 16 years ago. I consider myself a survivor of many battles, and the only way that I've been able to go through all these difficult times in my life, it's been through art, through music, through painting, sculpture, poetry. It has helped me through my difficult times.
Stigma is the oppression of the larger community against people who have various challenges and suffer, so it has a huge impact.
It's kind of a bit in the closet, like if we start talking to friends, people close to us or someone around us, it comes up quite more than you think that there's someone out there with some mental illness. I think it's important to bring it to the table, not to hide it. We're getting there. There are topics that are happening more in the kitchen table or, among family and friends.
Well, I guess some people would be willing to decline certain people with mental illness, certain jobs, and favor those that don't have mental illness because they feel that people mentally ill won't perform as well. And some people wouldn't want to be your friend because if you tell them you have a mental illness. So there is a lot of stigma, and I think it's important to discuss mental illness and try to get over the stigma.
Stigma is not good for recovery because it's not about where the person is. It's not about the role the person is playing in society, but it's about who the person is inside.
If you take away the sense of fulfillment and pride, art provides a voice, and we need that voice to speak out to the world. When I paint, it helps me to forget my problem. Everything else drifts aside, and I find I can concentrate much better.
There's a lot of realizations that you can have with arts. It's taking away the ego, and you have the aha moments where you feel like, oh, I was actually having this behavior when I don't have to have this behavior because that's not really who I am. So it's to take away actually what is not you and throw it away, or just notice that's what is.
I think hope means recovering from mental illness, and hope means getting on with your day and going through the troubles of life and dealing with them and trying to better yourself.
By doing our therapy, the person is able to express, and we as facilitators or therapists, we are the container for them to have this outlet where they can express through any modality in the arts.
My name is Rod Bradford, and I'm an artist. And when I was 3 years old, somebody put a piece of paper in front of me and a pencil and drew a line on it. And since then I've been in love with making marks on canvas and various other two-dimensional planes. How does art help me keep straight? Well, it's a period of time where I can relax and sort of think about things. Instead of just seeing images and hearing voices and getting all paranoid and having plots and counterplots.
I agree that doing art is crucially important for me in finding continual self-discovery that helps me interact with the world and other people.
All human beings need to express. So I think it's a way to get into the individual and understand more of their situation and try to contain it through the arts. But all people need to express. We all do this naturally.
Art is a means of doing. It's not necessarily the end result, but the process of going through it. I find art to me to be like a meditation. It calms my mind and helps me focus. And that is how I end up recovering, by ordering my thoughts and feelings and focusing on what I'm doing at the moment as opposed to my troubles.
Being in performance arts means to be exposure, putting yourself out there, exposure therapy. Every time that I go on stage, it's to fight the fear, the shyness, being vulnerable on stage, so being there as almost naked in front of other people and being able to show emotions, because I have been a lot blocking my emotions in my life. And part of the arts is to be able to express them and be vulnerable, because I believe that if you are not expressing your emotions, pretending that they are not there, then that can cause sickness, mental illness.
My inspiration comes from the void. Well, I call it the void. It's everything outside the circle of yourself. And all the ideas are out there. You just have to perceive and mix them in a certain way. And this is what I attempt when I do my paintings.
Writing and painting releases a lot of problems that I have in my mind and how I'm putting things together. It helps me be free of some imprisonments and release the spirit. And when I release the spirit, I start to feel what other people call normal. I think it starts with the mind and the heart and how they work together, and art brings them together. Art will also allow me to start in a new place that I haven't been before, and that's part of the excitement, of course, and part of the adventure of it. And instead of my feelings being lost and my ideas in my heart and mind being adrift and suppressed, it brings them up to the surface, and I can experience them and see how radiant they really are. And it helps me through to live a life where I'm all there. I'm really all there.
It's not always good to be in the black pit of despair. You need to crawl out sometimes and face the light.
The person can find more of themselves through the work. They will feel the connection with themselves through the art. And sometimes art is a safer container to express oneself when words don't quite work. Maybe it's too triggering or feeling unsafe in words. Art is a safe container for all that trauma.
We all have different stories, but we come to a certain points where there can be some intersections, or just that natural nurturing moment where you are with looking at someone else's eyes and you can relate and you can say, yes, you know, I understand, I'm with you. I'm not in your experience, but I hear you.
Programs for art are good because most people that I know are lonely, okay? And what they do all day is stare at the television or go on the internet. But if they get the chance, they'll draw and create and do things. Now, I think that's good to have that sort of calm shape of mind. I mean, it's almost religious in a way, in that religion tries to comfort your soul, while art comforts the intellect. And I think that's why there should be more people coming together in communities, in different programs, and relating to each other.
Don't give up. Yes. We are, as a future expressive art therapist, I have a great commitment with people, and I will always be committed with all the people who really need us.
I hope all people who have any mental health challenges can find the freedom to feel more of themselves to the maximum of their potential.
For someone else, it might be medicine. There's so many ways to get there, to get to become ourselves in life, in the present, not haunted by the past. We can be. Sometimes it's constructive to be haunted by the past, as long as we can bring that insight into the present.
I guess happiness really is sort of destiny. Everybody has something that they're meant to do in life. And if you don't do it, you'll end up being miserable. And happiness, to me, is fulfilling your destiny. I was destined to be an artist. By doing art, I am recovering, and through art, I have found myself. What I wish for is respect.
Art really helps me in expressing me in my feelings, And being creative is a good way for me to find myself.